like if I say it this way, this is going to be like
Say
made up
way.
news.
Come in close for this one. Okay.
All right, yeah. Whisper. Iain Valliere is coming back.
That sounds believable to me.
Yeah. Look at his Instagram. It looks believable too, man.
Okay, everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding. I'm Big Ron Partlow with Dusty Hanshaw and the producer Scott McNally. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
yes, it all makes a difference. Keeps YouTube pushing us out into the world, force feeding us to other people.
Hit the hype button too. If it's
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I like
Hit all those buttons. The hype button. Yeah, I guess we gotta. Do we have to add that now? We have to redo.
They know. They know.
Yeah.
They just know. You don't have to say it. It's implied.
No, it's implied.
What implication?
It's like you can't rewrite lyrics to a hit song, right? I can't change the intro. So yeah, we're happy to be here. Remember, IamMutant.com. Go to IamMutant.com. Dusty and Big Ron are your codes. Get your Mind FK. Get your Hardcore ISO. Get your Mind or what
greens.
else? Oh, your big greens. Yeah, especially the chocolate one. Damn. And everyone should get on the gear. So get your EAAs from Mutant, IamMutant.com. Use those codes. We appreciate everyone that supports. Like every time we put an episode out, I get a couple code notifications, and it's like, thank you. Keep it going. We appreciate it. Mutant loves it. Big news to start the show. Huge news to start the show. Who would have thought? Dusty and I have re-signed with Mutant.
Yes.
We are being kept around like a really impressive car collection that doesn't get driven.
Yeah.
Right? And
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, no. We're very happy. Dusty put up a great post. I had something in mind. I don't have a picture of me signing my original contract like Dusty does. So he's got like this preloaded photo that's always useful for every contract, right? I don't have a photo like that. So I'm like, I got to do something. So I got a guy coming to like do something on Tuesday, and I'm gonna on yesterday because this show's out Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna do something too. But yeah, just really thankful. You know, Dusty, you said something in your post. The value, you know, the Mutant doesn't care about the stage for us anymore. Obviously, Mutant doesn't. That's not what we do now. But there's such a love for the gym and what we can still bring to the brand with obviously, you know, doing things like the show and the travel and seeing the fans at the expo and meeting people and going to the gyms and that real like grassroots connection that Dusty and I love having with everyone that comes to see us or watches the show, and Mutant sees value in that, and Jim wants to keep us around, and we're just very lucky and fortunate. And you know, I want to thank Dusty too, because Dusty helps me you know, do what I have to do with Mutant, and I think I help Dusty too do what he has to do with Mutant, you know, and you know, so it's really been synergistic and just really happy and thankful. So I just want to thank Mutant for keeping us around for, you know, we got a pretty good contract. They're gonna keep us around for a while. They want to, they want us to, I think, finish our careers with Mutant.
That's cool.
So we're very
makes
happy.
Me happy.
Yeah,
That makes me
yeah.
happy to know.
And you know, like we talk about people that, like, you know, obviously you got to do what you got to do. It's a business. People do jump sponsor to sponsor, year to year. And I can't believe I haven't had to do that. And just really, really happy. And I just want to say thanks. And also thanks like to everyone watching, everyone using the code, everyone buying their supplements, everyone who comes to the booth, everyone who watches Mutant on a Mission and hits the like button. All that stuff is why I'm still around and why Dusty's still around. And that's the value, you know. If you guys stop watching the show and you stop hitting the buttons and you stop liking the posts and you stop sending messages, and you know, that stuff does come to an end eventually. And so it's driven by you people. It's driven by you people in the chat. Whoever's in the chat right now watching live, like, you're part of the reason why we're still with Mutant, so thank you.
Agree. 1,000,000%.
I want to add something, Dusty. You added value to Mutant by letting the listeners know how much water to mix with their Mind FK, by the way. Because you remember that guy who was like, man, I don't like the peach flavor. So he wrote me after that. Turns out he was mixing that with like 24 ounces of water. And And he's like, I just
There was
don't like
almost
that
no flavor.
Yeah, he's like,
It's like bad Crystal Light.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you had said you were like, you only need a few ounces of water, for a pre-workout or for Mind FK, something like that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to reiterate, in case anybody else out there is taking their pre-workout with a half a gallon of fluid, you'll want to use less. You can get away with a lot less than that.
Let's
Still
keep it
drink
tight.
water. Water's important, But, yeah.
Oh, we are going to have Sergio on. I already talked to
Sergio
him
will
about
be
it.
on. That's another big announcement. Mutant has signed Sergio Oliva Jr.
Yes.
We're very happy. Dusty and I have mentioned him before. Like, his name has come up before, and I know Jim's a big fan of Sergio. And Sergio's a great guy too. Like, he's a great guy to have around. He's the type of guy that always comes and says hi to us, and he's the type of guy that'll yell "Run!" and I look over, I'm like, "Oh, it's Sergio," and I'll go talk. Like, he's like that type of guy. He's a really cool dude, and happy to have him around. And did you see his video?
Yeah.
The trend cough video he did.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's pretty
It's
funny.
fantastic. That was
He was like first day back from health phase, and he like does a shot of trend, and then he's like
health phase over.
health phase over.
Amazing.
Yeah, but that was part of what I talked to him about before we brought him on. Was like, we're happy and we know he's a great bodybuilder, but really that's the stuff that I wanted to see, was just fun videos, him being him, and it was like having to reiterate to him, like, no filter, do whatever the hell you want to do, as if
He
no one was
fucking takes
watching.
a shot,
And that
he's
was
just,
his
like,
first
fucking
one.
Straight in. First video.
Yeah.
I'm like, he heard me loud and clear to do whatever he wants.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
He wanted to test the waters right away.
Okay, straight to felony. Yeah.
If I didn't like him before, I couldn't help but like him now. This is my kind of guy.
He's like, let's make sure they said what they meant. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
let's test out this contract.
I had a moment with Sergio. He didn't know that he had a moment with me, but we
That's
had a
always
moment.
uncomfortable.
I've had that with a few
2018.
women. I didn't realize it was a moment. Yeah.
I was waiting for the elevator to go upstairs at the hotel at Chicago Pro 2018, and as I'm standing there, Sergio had like just gotten there, and there's like a whole bunch of people hanging out in the lobby area. And when Sergio walked in, he was competing at that show, and people were really excited to see how he was going to do. Like, everybody just was like, "Oh, Sergio!" and like the place just freaking lit up. And I'm standing there waiting for the elevator, and he's talking to everybody, and Bob Chick is talking, 3 levels louder than everybody else.
Right,
"Sergio,
Bob's
leave
out
this
there.
room!" Yeah.
Sergio's here at the
All
elevator.
this excitement, and then the elevator opens up, and I get in, and Sergio gets in, and then the door's shut, and it just gets really quiet. And he just kind of was like, I didn't talk to him. I wasn't like, "Oh, Sergio, I'm a big," I just like, I didn't say
Right.
anything to the dude.
You realize
Yeah,
he's recovering from Bob? Is that what he was doing? He's like decompressing.
It was just interesting to see that, from going from like that level of excitement and him being on to him like just like, whew, all right, now I'm going to my room, relaxing for a second.
Where no one could see me. Let's go.
That's
exactly.
that's that feeling Dusty and I get when we get the 4 o'clock nod from George. Okay, you guys are done at the booth.
Exactly. I've been there for that.
You know that 4 p.m. nod? That 4
Yeah.
p.m. nod. You're on. You're talking to someone. You're talking, and then you look over and you see George go. And you look at your phone, you're like, 4:01. I'm fucking out of here. Yeah.
And let me tell you, listeners at home, if you're trying to get back to if you want to take the shuttle back with Ron and Dusty, you better start getting your stuff now. Because if you turn around and then you turn back, they're gone. They're gone.
4:01. I'm halfway to the door.
See you tomorrow. Very true.
Definitely. Okay. So they announced some Arnold guys now. We have a partial list. Is that what's going on?
I
We don't know if it's partial. Might be full. We'll see.
Imagine
They
that was
have
a
like a whole poster for the Arnold UK for those guys, and then they have the big poster too and we'll see what happens, right? Like, are all these guys actually going to make it? Is this list going to change come February or whatever? I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's take a peek here.
Well, the list that you sent, that only had 6 names on it, didn't it?
That's for the Arnold UK. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the Arnold UK, we got Hadi, Brandon Curry, Fitzwater, Jacked, Akeem Williams, and Hassan Mustafa.
Yeah.
That's a complete freak show with only 6 guys.
Yeah.
Like, if you went to that show, you're seeing 2 Mr. Olympias.
Yeah.
33.3% of the lineup is Mr. Olympia.
It's not too shabby.
That's a good show. And then you've got Fitz, Jacked, who are top 4 guys, technically.
Yep.
They've both been in the top 4.
Yep.
3 if, Jack's been 3rd. So, and then Hassan is like one of the craziest looking bodybuilders on the circuit. Hassan Mustafa in person, it doesn't matter where he's placing in a show, like, he's insane. Have you guys ever been around him?
Mm-hmm. Not in person.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, look at how big he's just
His quads
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, the legs are nuts. He's been to West Coast Iron before. Like,
no kidding.
He was here for the Van Pro, right? He won the Van Pro, and he was here. Like, did he win the Van Pro? I can't remember. It's been a good show, but he was here, like, on the turf with his pants down, showing me his quads with his wife. His wife's Canadian, right? So she speaks really good English, and she's very fluent, right? So she was like, "How do his quads look to you?" And I'm like, "He's asking me." It's Hassan. Yeah. And he's like looking at me flexing his quads, and I'm taking a video, and I go, "It looks good," It's always funny. But yeah, so he's that's why he was in Toronto training at Pure so much. Was like, he can come here. He's married to a Canadian woman, right? So he can come here no problem. But yeah, sense. Great guy. Yeah. And then of course Akeem is like a great addition to any lineup. I mean, since he started working with Chris, his career has found like he got like new breath, and like he's extended things a long time. Because I remember he started not placing as well.
Yeah, he had a little fall off.
And then got with Aceto
and getting in shape. And do you remember people used to say
the
like
back
Akeem Williams, he just can't get into his lower back, can't get it into shape. But apparently that's not the problem anymore, is it? No.
And then he starts working with Chris. He starts coming in lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he starts placing higher, like getting great call-outs and stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting. At that level, man, like when you're the size of Akeem, can you get any bigger? Like, if you're chasing size after a certain point, like, it's just, it doesn't, his placings weren't reflecting an improvement.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary.
And Chris kind of whittled him down.
It says, have you guys seen those ChatGPT photos where bodybuilders upload them and say, add, what would I look like with 20 pounds of muscle?
Right.
That's what Hassan looks like in real life.
Yeah.
So we're running into some problems that I'm not a fan of. Yeah. I had a really good friend of mine from way back in the day. I'll mention Derek Doobie. There you go. What a great last name.
That's amazing.
What a great I know. It's the last
I hope
name
he lives up to that.
Oh yeah, he's that type of guy. Yeah, and he sent me a photo of Gaspari, and he's like, "Look at this photo of Gaspari," and I looked at it, and I was like, "That's the best photo I've ever seen of Gaspari."
Yeah.
And then about 10 minutes later, I went back to it, and I was like, this might not be real.
Right.
Because when you AI something crazy, it's obvious. Like,
yeah.
But it was like, fuck. Now I'm wondering, did someone like ask Chat to add like even 5 or 8 pounds of muscle to that photo? Because it was good. It's a great photo, but it just, I'm like, oh, did Rich ever look that? Was there? You know what I mean? Like, it was just enough for me to wonder if that's a real photo, and I haven't had time to. Yeah, I haven't had time to research it yet, but it took a while for me to think because it was close. But I'm like, I don't know. He wasn't ever that big to me, so it makes you just like, I don't like that.
You're going to see a lot of that, Ron, because we took a picture when we were in New York, and Nikki liked it, but there was something weird in the background. I can't remember what it was, and she told Chat to remove it. But not only did it remove the item, but then it finished the building that was behind it all the way to the ground perfectly. So when, back like the thing that Goob does, the walls aren't going to move. Bring my waist in, and it will adjust the background perfectly too.
Yeah.
So you're going to see so much of that. and then of course things taking place that never took place. People saying things. I'm with you 100%. We're going to quickly see the negatives of what this does.
Yeah, and obviously I don't want to get into like the fucking social and political ramifications of thousands of fake but extremely convincing videos of all sorts of nonsense just being pumped out. Like,
I don't need anyone to think that I'm against a rack deadlift, and someone's going to post that video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, get the politics out of bodybuilding. No hate for rack deads. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have their place.
Yeah, I'm concerned. And then also, Elon Musk had a very interesting interview the other day where he was talking about, that some people aren't aware, but AI and these data centers, they're sucking power beyond what we're going to
like cities.
Like
really,
they're consuming so much power. So they're building these data centers in low power consumption areas. So like, for example, they'll go to like rural Nebraska and they'll build a data center near a small city.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can suck lots of power. But now on the chart, it's like appears like there's a giant city there now.
Yeah. They tossed New York City in the middle of Nebraska.
Yeah, because of power. So we're not going to be able to sustain this. So Elon said, well, the solution is satellites with giant solar panels on them, because they will be able to collect the energy because there's no interference from the atmosphere. So the solar panels just get blasted and they'll be able to produce the energy. Terrestrial power is already old. We're going to go to satellite power, and we're going to have satellites generating all the power we need for the AI centers. And I'm like, oh, isn't this how we got Skynet?
Yep.
We got the AI and the satellites.
Yeah, we know what's going on here.
We know what's going on. We know how this ends. So
we saw that movie.
I can't believe James Cameron made Terminator in '84, and here we are, just like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
living it out. This is stolen valor.
It's crazy. So yeah, it's exciting times. But yeah, what were we talking about? Pictures?
Talking about the show.
Know.
Martin Fitzwater versus Andrew Jack. I love Hadi Choopan, but I kind of feel like that's the lead. I want to see Martin and Andrew go head to head. What do you guys think?
That's it's going to happen. I mean,
yeah.
They've already, they've been head to head before. Like those two have had a couple of run-ins, haven't they? Because I was at the Dallas Pro one year when Martin.
That was right. That was Martin's breakout.
Yeah, the second where he beat Kuko. Yeah, I was at that show, and so this is he's right up there bumping elbows with Hadi and those guys now. It's great to see, but it's mostly. I'm mostly excited that I get to go back to the UK this year because we didn't go last year. Correct, Dusty? We didn't go to England because they are canceled to Arnold. They had that big hoopla with canceling it and some shysters running it or something like that. I don't know what was going on.
That's brutal.
But yeah, so we're just excited to be going back now, and we get to go to Dino's again, and
I'm
going out early.
We're doing an early trip. Find a way to go.
Oh, you should come. You'd love it.
It's
my favorite trip.
To make it happen. Yeah, we have so many listeners in the UK, and it would be a travesty if I didn't make it. So one way or another, I am going to be there.
Yeah, we're going out. We're going out early. I'm gonna go. Nikki wants to kick around London, so we're gonna do that and then come over.
Yeah. Nice. Don't get stabbed.
I'll do my best. I survived New York. I should be fine in mini New York.
I think London's way more dangerous than New York at this point.
Valid, very valid. And then we've got obviously the regular, the Arnold Classic.
Yes.
And I think they got 11 guys in that one right now. Add Nick Walker to that list.
Brando.
Brando, Mustafa.
Burton.
Let's see here.
Antonio Burton's in it.
Yep. Anthony Williams. And yeah. I don't know. I look at the lineup and I feel like this is going to be the time where we are really setting the stage for who's in the mix to win the Olympia also. And obviously Derek's not there, but if you see Fitzwater win, that changes things.
Yep.
If you see Andrew win, that changes things. So I think that'll be just like last year. That show is gonna make you wonder what's gonna happen to the Olympia.
Obviously, it's going to be a massive show for Nick after the Olympia and what happened there. And I think, not to put pressure on Nick, but like that
pressure's already on him.
Yeah, that pressure's already on him. But this has got to be the fix what happened at the O show. It just has to be. And 10:30 here saying don't sleep on Anthony Williams. He's going to do well in his pro debut. It's going to be something else. I think, obviously, if you just had to like bet $20 today, Hadi's there.
Yeah,
probably hard to beat Hadi.
I'm putting my $20 on Andrew though.
Yeah, I'm saying who could beat Hadi? Imagine that Olympia Hadi from a few months ago shows up.
Knowing how short of a time period that Andrew had training in the gym with, who was he training with again? Oh, shit, it's out of my mind. Chris's guy.
Yeah, the 212 Olympia guy.
Where's my brain?
We had him on.
Gone. Anyways, that was 6 weeks of change working with him. Yeah, Kamal, there we go. So now they've got all of this time. My knee-jerk is we're going to see a drastically improved Andrew again. And if that is correct, I'm not just thinking about the Arnold, I'm also thinking about the Olympia.
Yeah.
That'd be wild, man. Hey, there are people that are saying that he should have won the last Olympia, man. So
there's arguments.
There's a lot of people who are behind you.
Yeah, so
there's arguments.
That's my $20 as a guy that never seems to be correct and loses a lot of $20. That's where I'm putting it.
Hey, how about shout out to Brandon Curry going from the Olympia to the Arnold to the Arnold UK. Like, that's freaking incredible, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's just hanging in there, banging them out. Bang it out, collect checks.
Yeah, Brandon's a fucking machine, man. How many shows he done? He must have the most shows of anyone under his belt on this list.
He's competing now, for sure.
You know?
That's a guy that just loves bodybuilding, I think. At this point, that's what I see.
Me too.
Is that he loves bodybuilding because, assuming, I don't think that Andrew's doing it for money. I think Andrew's doing it because he loves bodybuilding and he happens to make money doing it. You know what I mean? Because he's making a lot of sacrifices to do all these shows and at this point in his career. And I know he's placing well and doing well, but there still comes a point, especially when you have kids and stuff, where you're like, I think I'm ready to hang it up, and he's not.
Yeah. I know. I got a lot of respect for Curry.
It's interesting that we don't see this. Both of these shows feel like these would be a place that we would see Bonnick. I feel like Bonnick, like, you know what I mean?
Maybe there's still time. Like, I don't know how they're doing with that.
He did do a ton last year.
I was going to say, so
maybe
he needs
just
a little
taking
breather.
now. Yeah.
Well, it's not like Bonnick probably didn't get an invite.
Yeah,
right?
He has a permanent invite.
You'd think if Bonnick just made one call or sent one email, hey, I want to do the Arnold, to be like, oh, here's an, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see anyone saying, well, we don't really think you deserve an invite.
I can only think of like 8 or 9 people that wouldn't want him to join. I'm looking at the poster.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else in the show.
How many are here?
Do you like my bureaucrat voice, by the way? Well, I don't know if we can do that. That's going to require paperwork. And yeah, that's my bureaucrat voice.
Use that a lot in Canada.
Yeah. We use that. Yeah, it's a daily usage. So, no, that's okay. Do we have what's the next topic? Do we have some questions? I had one question that I thought I would save for the show.
And I had a breaking topic that, like, if I say it this way, this is going to be like made up news.
Come in close for this one. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Whisper. Iain Valliere is coming back.
That sounds believable to me.
Yeah. Look at his Instagram. It looks believable too, man.
When Iain was shrunk, it looked believable.
Yeah.
When Iain was like running sprints.
Iain at his smallest is a freakish,
yeah, that didn't stick.
Like even when he came down, he's like, I'm really coming down. I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, are you though?
I am,
because you're still
he came
fucking
down a
huge.
good amount though. Like, he came down, seeing him in person and stuff. Like, he came down a good amount. I am mind blown at how fast. And I shouldn't be, right? But I am mind blown at how fast he blew back up. It's crazy. It's like, oh yeah, you are a freak, aren't you?
Yeah, that it's the muscle memory, the cell volume.
Yeah,
I mean, he probably put on Ian's type, I'd probably put on 15 pounds if he just upped his creatine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like probably like,
Eat an extra meal.
I haven't really been taking creatine for a while, so threw that in. 270 now. You know, I wonder how light he got. I never asked him.
I don't know. But
Do you think he even got under 250?
If he did, he had to kill himself.
I mean, he was forcing it. You know, he was like running for a while and everything.
I love the smoking too.
Yeah. I love that how many people don't know that that's just him
being a troll.
They're like, man, he's smoking. I'm like, he doesn't smoke. Like they think he's smoking outside of the Instagram posts. I'm like, oh, come on.
Right. Because Fuad actually did smoke, and Fuad quit smoking now because of the accident, right?
Right.
So I don't know if you guys knew that, but Fuad said like he quit smoking now because he was a smoker. He was like a secret bodybuilding smoker, or not secret, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw Fuad, like I've seen Fuad like outside having a smoke before, and you know, he said he was in the hospital for all that time and messed up for all that time, and he didn't have a cigarette.
Now he doesn't need them.
He just thought, wow, I've already kind of quit. It's been, you know, how long was he in the hospital? A month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, so last I heard he had quit. So I think that's why people think that, you know, because Ian's in that crew, and he's like,
they're all just smoking the whole time.
Yeah. I guess they smoke together, you know. But
I remember hearing that years ago. I read it first in like Muscle and Fitness or Flex or something. They were saying that like Russian bodybuilders would smoke during their diets to help them lose fat. I was like, oh wow, really? You know.
I had a
and
friend.
Then I started,
yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, but then I started seeing it. You know, in bodybuilding, you had guys like Marcus Rule and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rule was always the, you know, I remember seeing him on, like I've told about seeing him in his big denim jacket smoking Marlboros at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And I had a friend of mine that used to get peeled. Like he was like that guy in the region, you know, the regional guy that's always just sick, shredded. And he would tell me, he's like, oh yeah, you know, I only smoke when I'm dieting. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I was cigarette and kill the appetite. When we start the last 6 weeks, I just, you know, smoke a few darts a day, just like chill out. And I'm like, and then you quit? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be really hard to do.
He's like, not for me.
He's like, no, it's like, I was like, fuck, it's just weird. But he said he did it every show for like 10 years. He'd smoke during his prep. You know?
It's an expensive addition these days.
Yeah.
That's all I think of when I see cigarettes now. Is I'm like, well, you got to be rich to smoke. Nobody smokes anymore. It's like $9 for 20 cigarettes.
I'm one of those kids that I think one of the reasons I'm so durable is because I was stress tested by a smoking mom. And so I was one of those kids that got hot box. She'd crack the window like this much. And she'd just be smoking her Demorier and Players and all that. Just be smoking in the car like all through the 80s. You know, I might have had a seatbelt on. You know, I was one of those
Probably
kids.
not.
Right.
And so when I see cigarettes now, I can smell and taste. I can taste it through the picture, and I'm just like, oh, I just traumatized. Yeah.
We saw that this morning actually because I was irritated. This lady was at the light and she didn't go, and I was like, is she on her phone? And then Nikki's like, no, she's grabbing her robot dick, which is what I call vapes, and robot dick. That's what it looks like. And I go, that's a real cigarette. And she goes, and her windows are up, and you just see the smoke start to fill up this truck.
Yeah,
it's like a regular cab truck just going to town. I'm like, all right, I respect it. You could take your time at the light. You were lighting a fire.
I was just go outside to walk the dogs. I started walking the dogs again with the new hip. And, sometimes I go out there, and the other night I was reminded, my one neighbor always goes out, stands on the corner of the park and has a cigarette. And, you know, if there's no wind, it sort of like hangs.
Yeah.
And I don't smell cigarette smoke often at all in my life. Like, I just don't encounter it very often.
Right.
So when I do, I'm just like, holy fuck, that smells like fucking hate that smell.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, and I have these like, you know, flashbacks. I used to work in the nightclub industry in the 90s and just fucking crazy shit. You know, I would shower in I could taste it coming out of my hair and just, I just fucking, I can't stand that. That's the worst smell in the world.
You know where there was a lot of smoking was at FIBO.
Oh yeah,
Those Europeans,
lot
man.
of smoking at FIBO.
A different
The
thing.
Europeans, you'd walk outside between like the Mutant booth was right on
where all the food booths
edge.
were.
yeah.
Yeah, right by the food booths, and you go outside and like just 100 people out there just smoking the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, old school. They're like, what do you mean? Our ancestors survived 2 world wars.
Yeah,
Right?
we're fine.
We've
My
got
grandma's
that in
90.
them.
Smoked
Yeah.
all her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's different over in Europe, you know.
It
You're
is.
okay
It hits different. I mean, they got castles that are 900 years old that they're,
They'll be fine.
remember fire tough.
Built different.
Okay. Oh, and this
So that was
one
my
comment.
news.
Yeah,
That was my
one
news.
comment. The people with the least money smoke and drink. Blunt force telling
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Believable.
Yep. Okay. I had a question here. I did a question box, and this one came up, and I saved it for the show. See what you guys think of this. Why do so many coaches become popular and famous and super high level, and then something always goes wrong and they fall off?
It's a great question.
I don't have a knee jerk with that one. I mean, I feel like the popularity hits because one well-known person does well,
Yeah.
and then anybody who's not doing as well immediately slides over, and then a good group of them are doing well, and then one person is off, and then it's the end. You know, I feel like, and the funniest part is I don't actually think it's the end for the coach. It's just this industry is always looking for the new secret. Like if you think about the guys who were the guy, I mean, Chad was the only guy anybody wanted to talk to for a while. Then Aceto, then Hani, then, you know, Matt Jansen, you know, and
Then
down
Aceto
the
again.
line. Yeah.
Aceto comes around like 10 times.
Yeah, because he never really leaves those
Right,
who
he's
actually
consistent,
know.
yeah.
But it is funny how that works, where everybody jumps around. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that gets missed is oftentimes the miss is the athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what happens is there's a lot of good coaches that do a great job with a certain type of client. And they, you know, maybe they got a good business going. They've got a lot of happy clients and they get their hands on a pro. And now it's high profile. So now the pressure's on. Sometimes it goes really well with that pro, obviously, because some people you just work well with them and they're, you know, easy to work with. They follow the plan. You get yourself a good pro. Next thing you know, you got 3-4 people emailing you. And I think what happens is some guys get a little bit out of control and they take too many people on. And that becomes a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've seen that so many times where, in fact, I can say that just even on a small local level, I had a guy do well in men's physique, and I had no intention of being like the men's physique coach, right? But he won an overall at the show. So then like 2 more guys were like, oh man, you know how to coach men's physique guys, Scott. I want to work with you.
I got a guy ripped. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
But
happened to be
then-
men's physique.
Those guys did well. Like 1 out of the 2 of those guys did well. So now I have 2 guys that did really well, right? And then that turned into 4. And before you knew it, like Scott knows all about men's physique. The truth is this was early in men's physique when I remember guys were coming into the gym and they were like, well, I want to do men's physique so I don't train like a bodybuilder. You know, I
Yeah,
do my own thing. I'm trying to train for physique. It's different, you know? And I was like, no, we're going to train you like a bodybuilder. We're going to diet you like a bodybuilder too. We're going to get you freaking peeled. So a lot of these guys were like, you know, not really knowing what to do. And I just dieted them like bodybuilders, got them freaking peeled to the bone, and then they would win, right? And as a result, then like I kind of quote unquote became the men's physique guy for a while, like unintentionally. I got a picture of me standing backstage with like 5 guys all in men's physique, and we're all like this, you know? Like, yeah, no, it was complete accident.
Right.
That's like my buddy had a bikini client.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do bikini. He's like, she's just this one girl I know kept bugging me to help her. So I helped, and he helped her, and she just all the way to the top got a pro card. And I said, you know what's going to happen now? You're going to have 15 bikini competitors next season. And he's like, nah, I'm not a bikini guy. I'm not a bikini. He got clobbered. He got like so many bikini. He's messaging me. He's like, I just realized I'm a bikini coach. And I'm like, hey, you do a
Just
good
like
job.
that.
You're doing a great job. And he just laughed about it. It is how it kind of happens. I think that's why, like, I've intentionally, I mean, like, I don't want to be like part of, there's a bunch of noise in the coaching industry that I just don't want to be around. You know what I mean? Like, people have asked me all the time, like, you know, would you want to train and diet the guys at the, you know, like Olympia level guys? I'm like, well, yes and no. Like, they're just bodybuilders, right? There's not, it's just different. You're dealing with some pretty extreme people at that level. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Like, it's not a guarantee. Like, you're working with all sorts of people. Some of them are wacky. Some of them are not going to listen to you. There's going to be a bunch of, you know what I mean? I just hate the controversy and all the nonsense at that level. And, you know, I think some guys, I've seen some people get into that sort of Olympia level coaching, like, where they're really trying to make it like that's their business. And then the next thing you know, they're involved in all this drama online, and there's all, you know what I mean? Like, we see it, and I'm just, fucking hate all that shit. I don't know. Like, what's your take on that?
At the end of the day, for me, I have more fun training beginners.
I love
it's
training super
people
rewarding.
You're first off, that, like, when I say beginners, I mean like first time competitors, because there's nothing in their mind. They're just going in, trying to have a good time, trying to get in shape. They get nuts. And then, you know, 50% of the time, our second show is harder.
Yeah.
Because they've got predisposed ideas. Last time we were doing this, and this time we're doing this. And, you know, and it's not that I'm not willing to work through those things, but I think when you get to a higher level, you're going to start having more like, well, in the past we did that and it didn't work. And I'm not like, there's no sous chef in my kitchen. Like, this is what we're going to do if we're doing it my way.
Right.
And if you're doing it your way, that's perfectly fine, but I need you to stop telling people I'm helping you. Because half of my way and half of your way won't work. Your way might work, so go ahead if you want to do that, or do exactly what I say. But we're not like co-mingling ideas here and taking bits and pieces. And the other thing that people don't realize is, you know, I won't name names, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Like, I can't have a guy doing fasted cardio eating a Snickers, and that happens at the highest level.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get that with a guy who's not genetically made for bodybuilding 100%, but he's right on the edge and he's trying to get a pro card. He will eat sand for me.
Right.
And that's who I want to work with. Like, it's way more fun. I think there's a reason that Chris liked working with Ron and liked working with me, because it was like, he didn't wonder what we were doing. We both knew, like, I don't have a shot in hell against these guys if I'm not perfect.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, you start running into the guys that have gotten away with a lot their whole lives at the highest levels. You don't run into them at the lowest levels. The guys that have gotten away with everything their whole lives, that's not who you're dealing with at regional and stuff. And you also, too, you know, when you start dealing with the really high level guys, they've already had success with maybe multiple other coaches. So they always have this habit where they want to take something from each guy and integrate it. Like, well, yeah, but, you know, I did this for that and that for this, and then this cycle with that diet, and then train like this with this cycle and that. It's like it can be very frustrating, and that's why a lot of the high level coaching relationships don't last. Like, you know, I've got clients I've had for, I mean, shit, I got one guy, I've helped him for almost 20 years.
That's cool.
He's done like probably 15 shows with me in 20 years.
That's cool.
And he's ripped at every single one of them. And he's in his 60s now, and he still comes in ripped. And the people like that are super fun to work with, because they just love to train and get nasty, peeled. And they know that they don't have the genetics to go higher, but they don't give a shit. They love training. They love being in shape. They love the grind. Those people who go and do a master's show and get third at the age of 64, they're 10 times more appreciative and happy and all that stuff than some of the guys at the high level that, you know, you could bring in great shape for a pro show. And, you know, it's just the reality of the situation. And, you know, at this point, like, you know, I mean, I'll diet anybody. Like I've had clients do the Olympia, right? But it's just another show, and there's just a whole bunch attached to it, whole bunch of stress, massive amounts of disappointment, huge amounts of like, you know what I mean? It's a lot. So it just depends on what you want out of your, you know, what do you want your daily life to be like, you know?
I think what's funny is when you coach the way that I do, and I assume you guys do, I've been helping clients for shows, and then like, because I just pay attention to how many weeks out we are, how many days out we are, how many hours out we are. And actually, last year I was at, I think it was Pittsburgh, can't remember, but I was at weigh-ins, and one of my clients walked in, and he's like, "Hey, I didn't know you were going to be here." I was like, "I didn't know you were going to be here." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I didn't know you were doing this show. I just knew you were doing a show this weekend."
Right.
And he was like, "What? This is North Americans. You didn't know that?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what show you're doing.
I don't care what show you're doing. I'm bringing you in the same." And it's the same thing I try to teach them when they're going up. Because I've had guys, like when I did my first national, like, "Are you stressed? It's like this show." I'm like, "It's a stage, and I'm doing the exact same thing."
Yeah.
The name attached to it means nothing to me.
The only thing that maybe changes is like the nationals is like a longer wait. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we
like
used to have, it was a 2-day show back in the day. But I didn't think about that because I had a coach, so it didn't matter. I just ate what he told me to eat and do what he told me to do, and then I did it again the next day, and then the show was over. Like, you know, if you can detach from that stuff. But I wanted to segue this, Ron, because it came up today in the gym, and see what your guys' thoughts are. I got a friend that's doing a show, and they did a show a little over a year ago, and they're just getting ready to start their prep, and their coach is like, "Well, based on how you look right now, I think you're going to weigh this much at this show." And I'm like, "Oh, I would never tell someone what I think they're going to weigh, because it doesn't matter." And the last thing I need them doing is watching that scale dip or not dip, and them to start getting their head like, "Oh, I'm going to be lighter than he said. Did I lose muscle? Did I not put on as much as I thought?" And Nikki and I were talking about it in the truck today, and I'm like, if there was a way to coach people without that data being important, I wish I didn't have it.
Right.
Because the weight is such a mindfuck. I wish more people understood. Like, I remember when Jay told me what he weighed for the 2009 Olympia, it was like 25 pounds less than I thought.
Right.
Because he looked so big, and he was like
in the
250s.
Yeah.
And I thought he was like 280.
No.
You know, and when he told me that, I almost fell out of my chair. He's like, "Oh, I was heavier the 2 years before that."
He was like, 270 in 01.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like a lot of, I mean, everyone, I shouldn't even say a lot of people coming up, but throw away the thought of the fact that if you have to weigh more to look better and bigger. If you get a chance, talk to these guys about their best looks and what they weighed, and I promise you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a ballsy move to start telling a client 20 weeks out what you think they're going to weigh on stage.
Yeah. If anything, I'll say to people like a lower number. Like you know what I mean? I always set their expectations. Like, I know you want to be a light heavyweight at 197, right?
Right.
That dream light heavyweight. But I think you're going to be probably in the 180s. But your look is going to be great. And they're like, oh. And then, you know, because the worst thing to do is tell someone, "We'll get you right in the top of the class," right? And then as soon as they're 193 or something, they think you've failed them.
Yeah.
So you just, if anything, I'll give them a lower number than they think, and I'll be like, "Hey, you might be more than this because you grow into the show and, you know, gearing up and like the stack hitting and all that, but you have to be prepared to be like lighter than you're expecting, if anything." So, yeah. I had another one here. What do you think is one of your strong points with your coaching, and what is one thing that you don't do?
Wow, this is easy for me, but I'm going to wait. Scott, you haven't gone first yet today. It's your turn. We're not letting you get the perfect answer.
Yeah.
If you had to say what's good about your coaching, if you had to say, like, what are you good at?
I would say that I'm a good communicator and that I listen. Those are those are the things that I do, and that I try to. I used to coach. My coaching used to be a lot more simple, but that's because when I first started coaching, I didn't know as much as I know now. So I was kind of like, "Yep, here's your diet. Start this up." And now I know there's so many more variables and factors, and I try to factor in what that person's already doing, and before I give them more of like just a generic plain diet, which also works. Like you hear people say like, "Oh, Palumbo gives everybody the same diet." Well, it's like as long as it works for
get going on
size,
it, and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Then you figure it out. Then you see how they respond. Nowadays, I try to do what they like. I want to have people have as less, like I call it, psychic strain as possible. Like if we can change, like I might have you not change much at all. Like we might just use all the same foods you're already using, but just change a few portions. And I try to get to know somebody's life a little bit so I can see how these pieces all fit together. That way I kind of understand more, because I'm not like walking day to day with them through their lives. So I want to kind of have a picture of who they are and how their day unfolds and what they train like. That's another thing too, is I used to tell people like, here's a training. You want a training plan? Sure. What kind of training plan you want to do? And I just throw them a training plan. And now I'm like, well, let me see what your training looks like, because I got to see like, well, do they go to failure? What does failure
how are they
look
moving
like
weights?
to them?
I always want to see how they move weights. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for some people that are a little bit less experienced, they might feel like, well, I signed up with him and he just kind of tweaked my food that I was already eating, and he didn't even give me a training plan. But I'm like, well, hang with me here. Give me this first month. You know what I mean? And maybe I'll give you some stuff that is really going to make a difference for you. How can we tweak what you're already doing? Because my goal is like, how can we take what's working already? Like you've been doing this for how many years, right? And me, who just met you today, and who am I to think that I can step into your life and tell you I know how to run it better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do no harm, first of all. That's kind of so. Yeah, I think I try to get people to know people really well. And then what was the other part of that question?
What do you suck at?
What don't you do, or what do you think? I don't know, like maybe not a weak point, but something you don't have time, you don't have patience for, you don't do it. I don't know.
I think that I can be, and I realized this, I can be too nice to people. And I can be too like accommodating, and I think sometimes I need it. What I've learned I needed to do was like put my foot down and just be like, no, this is the way it needs to be, And I think I've gotten better at that. But yeah, I think there's been times that I've maybe tried to be too accommodating in the past.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mine's sort of similar to you, Scott. I tell the story about my old training partner, Forrest. Great guy. He listens to the show sometimes. But I'll never forget, he was like a buddy of mine, and he wanted to hire me, and I met him at the gym, and we sat down, and he wrote out, he brought his diet, and he told me what he was doing. He's like, well, I'm doing, chest, and then I'm doing back, and I got, he told me his split, and told me how many sets he's doing, and showed me his diet, and he was natural. And he said, so, I'd like to do a natural show in about a year. I want to work hard for this. And I was like, okay, well, let's get rolling. And he handed me a bunch of money. I can't remember. He gave me some cash. I don't remember what I charged him for, a few months ahead, up front. And then he went home, and his wife said, so you work with Ron? He goes, yeah. And she goes, well, what's your new diet look like? And he's like, he didn't change my diet. And she goes, well, what's your training program look like? And he goes, well, he didn't change my program. And she goes, what'd you pay him for? And he's like, I don't know. And then 2 years later, he had a natural pro card.
There you go. That's what he paid you for.
Right. It's so, man, I don't want to I don't attack other coaches, but the methodology of okay, give me $5,000 up front for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's coaches that do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
and sign this NDA
and
tell
sign
me you're
this
gonna post about me every week.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That is completely upside down to me. if you're giving a coach thousands of dollars up front, and I have no idea what you're expecting or thinking. That to me is insane. Insane.
You got to use this hashtag every time you post a picture.
Yes. Yeah. And then, and I, I just had a guy sign up. He sends me everything. I'm like, okay. He's making wraps. He's making these turkey wraps with a little bit of low-fat cheese in them for his post-workout. And he's like, so I send him his diet back. He sends me his diet, and I just adjusted the amounts a bit. And then I like to write it out so it's written for me. So it's my language, right? Right. Some people write their diet like handful of strawberries.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
How big are your hands?
Let's go 100 grams, right? Let's go 100 grams. Let's, yeah, or they're like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. I'm like, no, okay, we're weighing it. Let's do 50 grams. Let's do
32 grams, yeah.
Yeah, so I decode the diet and I format it. But it's essentially just their diet. And then I send it back to them. And they're like, oh, this is pretty much the same. And I'm like, yes, let's go from here.
Yeah.
Like, now you're on a lot of times, too, when people first come to you, they do have a diet they're following.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're also eating a bunch of shit on the side and having fucking protein bars and throwing this in and that. So I just send them their diet back.
And say, don't eat that other shit.
And I'm like, okay, now this is official.
Yeah.
Now this is your diet. Mm. And they're like, well, it's the same food. And I'm like, on paper, but you're forgetting all the other shit you're throwing in that you don't hold yourself accountable for. But now you're accountable to me. Now you've got pictures in a week. You got to send me your morning body weight. Let's see now how this diet. Let's see now how hungry you are.
Right.
Yep.
And the first check-in pictures are 6 pounds down.
Right.
I'm like, there's those like 5 protein bars and, when the one Wendy's stop and the, 3 Gatorades and the time you were a little hungry, so you'd have a bag of cookies. Like, there's where that went.
Right.
Yeah. There's that couple cheat meals a week.
And the thing I learned from Chris is like working with Chris, you realize how like little, like he doesn't send you a package, like here's your starting package, like he doesn't do that. It's like, let's just get going from here, and so that's something I think not overhauling someone's lifestyle is important because like. Mm-hmm. We're dealing with normal people. Like, they get up at 5 a.m. because they have to work out because they have a job, and then they got kids, and they got a wife at home, and they got, like, some of these people, like, you can't tell them, nope, you're going to train at 4, and here's your pre-workout meal. They're like, what do you mean my pre-workout meal? I train at 5 a.m. I'm barely awake. Like, okay, well, let's work with that. Like, you got to be able to do that and customize things so people's lives don't get completely disturbed. So, yeah. What about you, Dusty?
I'm going to start backwards. I think the thing that I'm working on that I'm not great at is recognizing how, like, what someone's goal really is versus what they think it is.
Yeah. That's hard.
And not getting frustrated with that, because when someone tells me, like, I will do anything to win this show, I think of what that meant to me when I said I would do anything to win a show. Mm-hmm. And then when I quickly see that they won't, years ago I would get really frustrated with that. And now what I've worked on is communicating back to them, hey, listen, we can have fun, you can do awesome, you might even win. But I do need you to recognize that you're not doing what you said. So I need you to also understand I can't give you the result that you think you're going to get based on these things you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when you're randomly throwing in a protein bar because you were late and you're doing this and that, people don't realize how much those little tweaks really affect the finalized look. And coaches need to realize that that might be enough for them. So you just have to communicate that and make it work, because you can't put what's the most important thing to you when you were in your prime on them, because it might not be fun then. You know what I mean? So I've really worked on just stepping back and make sure you're communicating all that stuff, but also understanding there's nothing wrong with wanting to do the best you can do at 90%.
Yeah.
And back in the day, like, I was like, why the fuck would you even do this? If you're not willing to eat sand and not sleep, what are you doing? It's a waste of time. And it's like, no, it's not. Not to them. And in fact, to them, that better result may not be worth it, So I just try my best to communicate those things. And also just working like a new struggle over the last 5 years, because I've been doing this for 20, is there's so much information for people that I've got a lot of clients that are trying to co-op their work with me.
Yeah.
Where they're like, hey, I was thinking we should add this in. And I'm like, why? Well, because they're, and I love it. They're excited. They love bodybuilding. But they heard this guy say that you should have no carbs. And then this guy said that you should have no fats. And I feel bad because back in the day we didn't have that. So it was just easier to just execute. But having to kind of step back and go, you know what? This isn't a negative, because I have an athlete that's excited. And they're trying to learn, which is great. And so you just kind of work them back down and help them understand what you're doing. And sometimes you come to the conclusion that, hey, man, you really love playing, and I think the best thing for you to do is to go play without me. And it's not a breakup. It's just like, what are you paying me for? Because, again, we're back to this co-op situation that's not going to work. I'd rather you go out and do that. And I think for some of these younger athletes that want to experiment, one thing that's really changed is people start bodybuilding on Monday, and on Monday night, they've got a coach.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with fidgeting around with bodybuilding, following podcasts, learning shit, and having fun doing it yourself for a while until you hit a point that you decide you need a coach. Because I feel like that's the thing that's missing is everyone thinks they need, I go, well, if I'm in a bodybuilder, I need a coach. And I'm like, this isn't really that complicated. Yeah, I would bring you in better than you will. But would you have more fun? Would it be more rewarding? Can you even afford it? I've had people reach out and they want to hire me, and then they see the price and they're like, I can't afford you. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, keep following the podcast and keep kicking ass and you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's so much you can learn today without a coach, and still, like, you can do a lot,
Yeah.
If you pay real close attention, if you want to learn. It's a luxury, Dusty, having a coach, isn't it?
But it's not a necessity, and you can win without. There are guys that are winning shows, beating guys that have spent thousands of dollars on coaches by just working really hard, staying really disciplined. I mean, just so you guys listening understand what Ron and Scott were saying, we give you a diet, then we step back, and then you send pictures, and we say, what did that diet, cardio, and training do? And we look at it, we go, all right, it was a good week. All right, let's wait another week. Oh, it paused. Okay, we're going to change one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
See what happens in a week.
And we're going to stay calm.
And just keep doing that. So you can do that yourself, because what you don't want to run into is, I'm paying $250 a month, and because of that, I can't afford the food he just put on the diet.
Right.
First thing I do, this is the first thing I do with everybody. List all the supplements you're taking, and then I tell them, okay,
let's remove these.
You can
50.
stop almost all of this, and then I'm free.
Yep. Yeah, it's just that stuff, and I do think it's fun, guys. Like, that's why I enjoy so much helping general population people now, is because there's something really rewarding about helping someone change their life, helping someone see that they feel better, that people look at them differently, that they walk into a room differently. Oh, and by the way, and all of my clients got this week. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, forget I exist.
Yes.
Do whatever the hell you want, and I'll see you Friday. And I tell them, like, because I got some hardcore people, I'm like, do not restrain yourself because you think it'll make you a better bodybuilder.
I'm sending that message out as well this week.
No, dude. Like, if there better be a separate pumpkin pie for you, because you're going to eat that shit.
Yeah.
People.
So here's my little word for all the bodybuilders out there.
Yeah.
Part of being a bodybuilder, part of the fun, part of the culture, part of the experience of being a big, badass bodybuilder that squats 4 plates for reps and fucking has traps and
6.
I'm going back to the 90s.
Okay.
Part of the fun is that you get to fucking eat at the holidays. You get to freak everybody out. You get to be the guy at the table that's like, I'm here. I bench 3 plates for reps. I'm out eating all of you fat fucks. Right? And you out eat your family. And there's a pie for you. And you go hard. Like, that's part of the fun. That was one of the best parts of being a big bodybuilder.
Yep.
And I just can't stand these, well, you know, I got to, you know, make sure I measure, I got to weigh the gravy. I'm going to give myself 50 grams of gravy. You know? Don't weigh the gravy.
I saw a coach, you guys, that put out a message this weekend, and I do your thing, I guess. But they were like, bring your own plate so you've got controlled portions and only fill that plate. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. What do you think is going to happen? Like, I literally told them, I do not care what you do for 2 whole days. And I promise the wheels will not fall off by Friday.
We live in a society. You have to take part once in a while. Don't always be the outlier that's got to make a scene.
I do not want to see Tupperware.
I do not want to see
dinner.
Tupperware.
Yeah, do not. Unless you're bringing it to fill it up for the next day, because it's Wednesday and Mom's going to send you home with some good shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. You know, so any of you that are watching, because it'll be Wednesday, if your family's doing something, I promise it'll the enjoyment you'll get out of just enjoying the time is much more than the 3 to 6 pounds of water, not fat, that you're holding on Friday.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. You know.
Yeah. So sorry for the random rant, but it was something that I every single email this weekend, the last line was, and for some of my guys, I'm telling them, do not. I'm begging you, do not bring your food.
Yeah. Yep.
We have a bunch of stuff that's in the live stream, so I want to make sure we gave these guys some attention. When is the best time for you to help a client pick a show? Like, how do you decide when to pick a show? He said for him, it's when it financially makes sense.
That always works. When your life is the least chaotic. I mean, I don't want to drop somebody in college into a show where 2 weeks out they're doing finals.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want an accountant.
I've done that.
You know, getting ready for their show, and it's, you know, the show's on April 16th.
Tax season.
Working
16-hour days.
Let's think this through here.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend or wife is having a baby in 4 months.
Yeah. It might be on the day of the show, but probably not.
You're
But if
getting
it
married in
is, send her
3 months.
pictures from the show.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. I saw a guy had a baby the night of the weigh-ins.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He was at the weigh-ins and his phone went off.
You'll love this one. I did
He was
something
at the
in
show the
reverse.
next day too.
So Matt Kafora hired
And
me.
in first place in the lightweights.
We worked together when he was a kid. He hired me, and we got started. And I didn't know this, but we got started, and he wanted to put on size, so we just started jamming. And he gets big quick. And he hadn't told me this, but the week before he hired me, he got measured for his tux for his wedding.
Oh, wow.
And he wasn't renting it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I get a call.
Blow him up 30 pounds.
His wife was pissed at me. He couldn't even button his it was a suit, not a tux, I'm sorry. He couldn't button his suit for their pictures because he had grown too much and it didn't fit right in the shoulder, so she had to like pull it around his arms, and I was so proud, but she was not.
Yeah, I'd be proud of this. It's like it's still a win.
I'm like, oh really? Good to hear. But no, I think that as far as picking the show, the convenience things, all those things matter, but also it depends on my client's goal. You know, like new guys, when they come to me, like, oh, I'm thinking about competing, I'm like, let's do it right now. Let's go. Because I want to find out if they like bodybuilding or they like lifting weights and eating.
Right.
And the only way you can do that is by getting on stage. And then after that, it becomes more strategic. You know, like I have guys that finish shows like, what show are we going to do next? I'm like, ask me in 6 months.
Yeah.
Because the changes you need to make, I need to kind of look at and decide if we've made them before we can pick the show, you know? What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I don't think I have too many other. I just want to know what's going on. Like, were you planning to go on? Like, were you getting married and going on a cruise in September, and you're planning to do a show that's like 1 week before that, or 4 weeks after? Like, do you have, I'll ask people, like, do you have any big events that are happening, during the next
Pre-planned,
6 months? Something we try to, and with like those guys that I help long term, and coming in now, we're starting to see what the schedule is going to look like for 26. And so that's the question I'm asking them now, is like the guys I'm working with long term, like, what does your 26 look like? Are there any big plans? Like, you guys having a big family reunion, you're all going to the Dominican Republic in, the middle of the summer? Because if so, maybe it's not a good idea to plan a show that's going to line up with that.
I've had a few. I had a couple actually, and they said, "Hey, we want to be in shape for our wedding." And I was like, "Okay, when's the wedding?" And they told me, they go, "And we think the best way to do that is do a show. And there's a show a week before our wedding." And I'm like, "Done." So like they were sliced out of their heads for their wedding pictures. And it was great, because after the show, I'm like, "Do whatever you want before your wedding. You're going to be fine." And it was funny because the goal was actually the wedding, but they were both previous competitors, and they knew the only way they'd really commit to it was a show. Yeah. So we did a show so they'd be ready for the wedding.
That's wild.
I've had those before.
What about this one? Question about the Arnold. Went last year, going again, and planning to attend finals. Just went to the expo last year. Are the reserved packages worthwhile? He said the question got pushed up, but I think he said he was talking about possibly like sitting in the balcony. Would that be a good idea? I don't know much about. Thinking balcony for me and my daughter.
I mean, they've got screens there, so
giant screens.
You're gonna be able to see from anywhere. Personally, I feel like being in the building is the most important part, because that's where you get the energy of the whole thing. And most people, unless you're sitting really close, are watching the screen. So it's the financial difference. It's not worth it unless you're going all the way, which I'm assuming those are already gone. But yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think they have package deals that cover everything. Your expo tickets, your seats for the show, your seats for the prejudging. And if you want to do all of the above, I'm sure you save money doing it that way.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would say you want to go to the expo one day.
Yeah.
And you want to go to finals.
Yeah.
Like, if I was, to tell someone, like, keep the expenses down to a minimum, and I don't really, I mean, if you want to go to meet the Olympians, that's free. You can
this
just
is
go to
the
that.
Arnold.
Oh yeah, so the meet the, you know what I mean, meet and greet or whatever, that's free. But you can just go to that. But everything else, I mean, I don't know. I've known a lot of people that have bought packages, and they've been like, it was a lot of money. I didn't really use some of this stuff, and like, I remember they've had like where you get to go, VIP packages, you get to go to like a lunch and stuff, but then like, there's no competitors there. Like they don't necessarily show up, and like, so it's like, kind of just depends.
Yeah. What about?
If I had my way, I'd do just the prejudging, and that'd be it. I love prejudging so much. Yeah,
prejudging is where the competitive.
I like prejudging too.
Yeah.
George UK. He says, glad to see that you're feeling better after your hip replacement, Ron. Going to need to get this done as well. Question: how long until you could walk okay? So I thought that'd be great to get the update from you. We all want to hear what's going on with the hip now.
Yeah, I mean, I had the anterior procedure, which I've talked about, where they don't cut any muscle. They pull your quads apart and they go in between. So because they don't cut, they don't cut through the glute they didn't cut through my glute or anything. I just got up and walked. Like, I walked hours after surgery. Mm-hmm. Like, it was the next day. Sorry, the next morning I walked. I had surgery at like noon, and I was in bed for the rest of the day. And then the next morning at like 6 a.m., the nurse came. She's like, "Hey, let's get you up." And they gave me a walker, and I stood up, and I stood straight up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. Obviously, I was in pain from surgery, but I knew right away. As soon as I stood up, I was like, fuck, it's over. As soon as I stood up, I was like, it's over. It's over. This is, oh my God. It was just the biggest relief. And obviously, I was like, using a walker for the, But 48 hours after my surgery, I walked through the Montreal airport and boarded my plane without a cane. Yeah. And probably not the best idea. But, you know, obviously I'm, compared to the average person, I'm obscenely strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the average person can't do that because they don't have the musculature to support everything. But I was able to walk through the airport, and I didn't want to use a cane in the airport because I didn't want Air Canada to be like, did you have surgery? Because I didn't have a letter.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have 72 hours with Air Canada, and I didn't want them to know because I was only doing 48 hours. So I just put my cane in my check bag, and I just sort of tried to walk real straight and careful. And yeah, unbelievable, man. I can't say enough. Life-changing, best money I ever spent.
That's crazy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, George said he's going to do it privately as well.
Yeah. I'm 10 days. So yesterday, I was 9 days post-surgery. And I left the house for the first time. I went downtown to watch Emily compete in a high rocks competition. And for those of you that don't know what high rocks is, it's like this hybrid athlete craze that's going on, where they have this running track, and there's these obstacles and events, and they had thousands of people enter. Emily did the women's doubles where she had a partner, and she did like her age group for the women's doubles. And there was hundreds of girls in her class. Like, they were running by, like I was there watching. And it was like being at an expo. It was in a giant convention center, expo vibes, techno music pounding, you know, some exhibitor booths along the wall. Very expo vibey. And I was there for 4 hours, walking around, standing the whole time. I took a foldable chair with me.
Yeah.
And I was carrying it around, but I never opened it. I never put it down on the floor or sat in it. And I was pretty relieved to get home because it was kind of throbbing a bit, like this surgery, you know. It was kind of like
I would have sat in the chair.
Me too.
Personally.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the whole time.
I just kept moving from, you know, event to event. I wanted to see her at every event. So she'd come and do the one obstacle, and then I'd move to the next, and then she'd come. You know what I mean? So
I would have set the chair up every time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm that
I
guy.
just, I can't say enough. I can't say enough. Today I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to do some pin-loaded chest and biceps. It'll be my first workout.
There we go.
Nice.
And I can't load the hip at all, so I can't carry dumbbells. I can't even carry, like, you know, if you grab 30-pound dumbbells, that's 60 pounds of extra load on your hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not lifting anything. I'm not even plate loading a machine today. I'm just pin loaded. And unless Braden wants to load my plates for me. Hey, buddy.
He'll do it. Come on.
He would do
buddy.
it. Yeah.
He would do it. He'll plate load for me.
I'd do that for you, and I'd use the proper plates.
Right. Making sure they're symmetrical.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable.
What else we got, Scott?
I have to ask this one, and I hope that the answer is yes from one of you. The answer is no for me, but have any of you fellas ever used check drops?
No, I've never seen them.
I don't know
I
what it
haven't
is.
either.
Check drops are an old school sublingual androgen.
Oh.
And I'm not sure what the actual medical application was in Europe back in the 60s or 70s or whatever they were made for.
I think it was veterinary.
Was it veterinary?
Shocking.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with dogs and pregnancy
Yeah.
or something.
And I remember the something like that. I remember the Underground Steroid Handbook and the Anabolic Reference Guide.
Yeah.
And check drops was in there. And I remember as a young bodybuilder, I was like, oh, check drops, never heard of those. And I read, and it's like pure androgen sublingually, but almost no bodybuilding application whatsoever, right? Because it's like the half-life is like...
Yeah.
But I guess powerlifters used to love that shit.
Well, like right before they went or something?
Yeah, they'd like just androgen load their brain and, you know, it's
Then
like
walk out.
taking 100 megs of Halo for a week. I don't know how that felt, but I guess it makes you pretty like irritated.
It was rumored that Mike Tyson was on check drops when he
would fight.
did the ear biting thing.
It happens.
Yeah. Sometimes
They
you take
still
little
have
check
check-
drops, you bite someone's ear off.
Yeah, it happens, you know.
So yeah, it says a potent synthetic anabolic androgenic steroid historically used as a veterinary drug to prevent heat in adult female dogs.
There you go.
Of course, a bodybuilder would be like, we should try that.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Read that, and I was like, yeah, immediately. I was like, I should give
I'm
that.
going to
put
take
in
that
my mouth.
before I bench press.
Yeah.
And I won't go
That
into
was
heat either.
That was it. But I had to ask. I was hoping that maybe you guys had a story like, no, Ron, I was waiting for Ron to say, I never took them, but I knew a guy back in Edmonton that.
I did know some powerlifters that said check drops used to be like a powerlifting thing. Like you would take them for powerlifting meets.
Yeah. Like Halo. You know, they'd also use Halo in circumstances.
Yeah. Even faster, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so someone commented here they're meant to keep dogs in heat. Yeah. Mike Tyson loved
In
them.
heat. I got it.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Out of heat. Got it.
Hey.
How do I think Sam Sulek will do at the Arnold? I don't know who's doing it. Who's doing it with the classic guys?
Plus, I haven't seen. I'm sure Sam has made some improvements because he's that guy that's young and growing and stuff. So I haven't seen his physique for a while. I don't know if he's posting updates or what's going on.
I know he'll make more money than anyone else there.
Yeah. I'm just here to sell T-shirts.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
I believe that Mike's going to be there. Sommerfeld.
Ooh,
Nice.
he still hasn't taken my advice and went into open bodybuilding, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Men's lineups for 2026. Let's see who's going to be.
Wesley, Mike.
Oh, yeah, Wesley. It's going to be the Wesley and Mike show. That's what's going to happen.
Nice. Yeah, Wesley needs redemption.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wish I was ever good enough to need redemption. There was no redemption needed.
Right. No, I know Wesley's got an insane physique, man.
I prevent. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his look, and I know they really penalized him at the last show. Didn't he get hammered at? Was it the O he got hammered at, or he didn't do the O? I can't even remember.
Wesley? I think it was. Yeah, I don't think he did the O. I think he got hammered at the other one, the Arnold.
And then I'll be interested to see what happens with Mike with this whole height weigh-in thing. You know, that it seems like that's what really threw him off. And I wonder, you know, from what I understand, it was him who made the big deal of it, where he kind of said on a podcast something about like, yeah, you know, I'm actually taller than that, or, you know, something. It was something like that. And then that kind of sparked the whole thing. But they're like, we're rechecking everybody. Everybody's getting rechecked. And, you know, had he not said anything, I wonder if it just would have kind of slid by.
Why do they? I mean,
it's funny because every single classic guy is worried about their height. Like,
you know what's weird?
Like every single one of them, they're like, well, I've always been 6'3", and I'm hoping I'm still 6'3". Like, fuck, you know, like they're all
using inversion tables and stuff like that.
Yeah. Not squatting anymore, you know. Like,
yeah.
You know what I understand about classic though, from a standpoint of bringing the best physiques, is if the judges keep it within the criteria of what the guy is supposed to look like to be in classic, why not just throw out the weight?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Because if we all know that if Mike Sommerfeld came in at the weight he could have been with the previous height, he would have won.
Right.
Because he would be the best classic bodybuilder. So aren't we basically restraining guys from being the best they could be? Because some guys wouldn't be better if they were heavier. Some guys would. And some guys could get so big that they don't look good anymore for classic and they need to switch divisions. So I don't really understand the point.
I think the point, and I get what you're saying, Dusty, like the look is what matters, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get that, but I think the point is that without some kind of guardrail, like we've seen with every other class,
right?
Without some kind of guardrail, the classes continue to morph to the more extreme all the time. Like, look what happened with bikini. They used to look, I mean, I remember Emily was did the first bikini show in Alberta, and it was like fit swimsuit models.
Right.
Right.
And then, of course, that morphed into like completely peeled, ridiculous glute tie-ins. Certain muscles are untrained totally, and other muscles are maximized. Like,
it's crazy what it's
like, you know. And then, of course, you know, it got so crazy that they're like, well, now we need to make wellness because figure and bikini are like morphing, so we need to make something for all these girls with giant glutes.
Right.
And then, you know, and then they could dial bikini back because now they had wellness. Like, all these guardrails that keep getting kind of obliterated by progression. So I think that's why they just think we have to have some kind of border.
We have to have one thing we keep in line because we let the else.
Like, yeah.
Because think about it, they keep coming out with more divisions for women. They're like, well, now that we let bikini go too far, we'll do, what do they call that new
Fit
one?
model.
Fit model.
Fit model's just 2010 bikini.
But what's funny is I'm already seeing it in the fit model division. Girls are like, the judge said I got to get a little bit bigger. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You know what
Because
I'll
we
say,
are
though?
in a sport of progression, though. That's the thing. I mean, I would have hated it if someone said to me, "Right here is where you need to be," and I'm like 5 years from retiring.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "If you come in like this for the next
Just
5
like
years,
this.
you're always going to win." It's like,
That's weird.
I don't know what to do with this. Like, I spent all the years
I don't know
previous,
what to do with my hands.
yeah, jamming up to this level, but I don't know. I understand, and you are correct, but I do look at it and I'm like, you're handicapping some and opening up for others. Same reason I think that like a lot of people are arguing that the 212 should be gone. The best 212 guys can hang with open bodybuilders. So why not just throw them all in one cage and let them fight?
I like it. I like the constraints personally. This is coming from the place of like when you hear the stories of like the IFBB worlds, and there's this guy who's really like 190 pounds, but he's sucking down to make 176. You know what I mean? Like he's doing everything it takes. They have to like wheel him in there and then give him an IV afterwards. Like these things that are incredible and nearly impossible to do. Like when we had Stefan on, and he said, because of what Classic has become, these guys need to get absolutely peeled, and then they need to get like 10% better than that, 10% leaner than that, in order to be what the look is today. It is, and here's the thing, and it kind of goes back to what I kind of learned about making art back when I was in photography, that when you give yourself a set of constraints to work within, then you can like just you have to be really creative to figure out how to push up against as close to that freaking line as possible, and so to me, a big element of what really excites me about bodybuilding is that challenge of, say, making a weight class. Even when it looks impossible, and maybe it is impossible, and maybe it's a little bit dangerous too, but oh my God, if you can pull that together, you'll become something. And stay alive. And I'm not saying that bodybuilding as a sport is necessarily the safest, but like to me, that is like the top level of what I think is crazy cool, and that's what makes it an extreme sport too. But that's just the old school, competitive, mind that I have in that.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about 212,
Well, that's why they kept altering. Like, remember 212, they used to weigh in like days before?
Yeah.
Or 202.
Which I liked. 202,
And then guys were stepping on stage heavier than that. And it's the same thing, like, a lot of fight divisions, they'll have a couple of days.
Thursday night weigh-in or whatever. Yeah.
And for a Saturday night fight. And you're like, well, if you really want him to weigh that, weigh him on Saturday morning. Like,
yeah,
that's
and
when
they're
you're
trying
find
to
out what
change
they
that
really
too.
are.
For safety purposes, they're changing that in a lot of different organizations where like you can only actually be 10% different than, or you know what I mean, like a small percent different the day of the fight than when you weighed in, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, guys are coming down; they're 20 pounds up from that actually.
Yeah, I've also heard arguments for the fighters that they should weigh in the morning of their fight.
Yeah,
because it forces them to not do extreme things. Because you can't like do a 20-pound drop and then fight like 7 hours later.
Yeah, and actually be in decent condition
so
for the fight.
It would prevent them from doing that. It would, because let's be honest, we know how the body comp works. Most of these fighters, they could just get 10 pounds leaner.
Yeah.
You see this boxer and he's like, I dropped 20 pounds to make weight. It's like you don't even have abs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you could just get peeled and keep all your muscle and weigh in. Like George St. Pierre was a master at that. That's why he was so good. George St. Pierre made weight fully hydrated and fed.
Yeah,
every
he was
time.
Sliced. Yeah.
Because he conditioned his body. He got his body fat low, maximized his body comp, and he would be like, he'd eat a meal and drink and weigh in and be the right weight, and the other guys like got to go on an IV, and then the next night George St. Pierre,
Yeah.
I worked with this guy. This guy was such a badass. He was not only a coal miner, he was what they called a rescue coal miner. So his job was to go in and rescue other coal miners when things went sideways.
It's a bad job when they have to have a rescue coal miner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine if there was a rescue podcaster, you know?
Yeah.
It'd rescue me for saying dumb shit.
Yeah.
I'm going in, guys.
Yeah.
So he was like close to 300 pounds when I met him. Tall black dude, like over 6 foot, right? And he was a boxer, and he wanted to try doing bodybuilding. We dieted him down to like 230 pounds, like peeled. And then after that, he was like, you know what? I think I'm going to stay here and keep fighting in my same weight class. You know, or come down, you know, that was come down a weight. Yeah, it was come down a weight class, but being like this 6 foot something guy with like a reach across the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm a heavyweight fighting as a cruiserweight. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be under 200, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
you could take any super heavyweight fighter pretty much and just get them down to heavyweight with body fat and water alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And not lose their explosion and their energy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Classic.
How are we
I
doing,
think
guys?
that's all we got.
That's pretty good. Any news you guys want to chat about before we leave for the last 5-minute crew?
Patreon, always Patreon, guys.
Yes.
We appreciate the support. In t-shirts, they're all available over
Keep
at
a
the
producer homed.
merch store.
Yeah.
All that.
Do those things. Make sure you're all watching Mayor of Kingstown. This season's phenomenal.
And
It's a must.
also, if you haven't watched Pluribus on Apple, Scott thanked me before the show.
Yes.
So
It's
good.
great. It's great.
We haven't started that yet. Once we're all caught up with these seasons, we're going to dive in. We waited because you guys have given me some shows that you're like, oh, this is so good, and I make it like 11 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? And I just turn it off. So I waited for Joe Rogan to have your back on this one. I'm like, all right, I'm going in.
You know, Pluribus has been good. So yeah, enjoying that. And like I said, Dusty and I, again, very happy to have re-signed with Mutant for the next year.
Yes.
And you know, excited to see everybody at the trade shows and the Arnold Expo and the Arnold UK and all that stuff.
Yes.
Scott?
I like that.
Scott?
What about Stranger Things? Do you guys like Stranger Things?
We did season 1 and we really enjoyed it. And then we just never went back for some reason. But we
Same.
thought about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's supposed to be an amazing show, but we just kind of got onto other things.
I think it's gone down, you know, and then there were issues like writer strikes, all of that, and so they got a lot older, but then they're still playing kids kind of thing, and
Right.
now they're doing the last season is kind of the hot thing out right now, and
Right.
we're watching it. Victoria said she's like, I'm not getting into this season as much. I like it, but I love the 80s nostalgia. It's like it takes me right back.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had that radio.
Oh, yeah,
I
you're
wore those
right.
shoes,
You're right.
You know,
Yeah, that was a cool element to the show.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
into it regardless.
Okay.
There we go.
Also, too, I am wearing my Train Like Hell hoodie.
Nice.
The Train Like Hell app is live. I got people on there. It's pretty cool. Some of them are posting in the community, but
Nice.
there's a bunch of people on there. It's been really exciting, and I'm happy to see. You know, I wake up in the morning, got a new sign up, and post a message to the community and say hi and all that. And it's been cool. So I just want to thank everyone. You can trainlikehell.com. You know, it's easy to find, or go to my Instagram. So yeah, I just got to do a little personal pump. But
Yes.
thank you very
Let
much.
us know. Remind us every episode, by the way.
Yeah.
because there's going to be. People
I don't
that
like
didn't hear that.
co-opting. I mean, you guys are free
I know,
to
but
do your stuff.
Listen,
you know,
listen. There's going to be people that didn't hear you
Benefits
talk
our
about it
viewers.
because they didn't
Yeah.
watch all the shows. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
you should mention it again.
And they should watch all the shows.
Yeah, so I'm happy, you know. And like I got a message from one guy yesterday. He was like, "Hey, I just wanted something to get me back on track. I was used to bodybuild and I competed, and now I'm busy with kids and stuff, and I can't afford to hire a coach. And I want a program. I want to follow something." And he's, some people enjoy recording their workouts. Like, it's been cool because I've used it myself just to because I had to test it out. So I would go through it and use it. And
Yeah.
I kind of miss it made me miss the logbook days. You know what I mean? Because the logbook days were fun. You get 5 reps, and then the next week you get 6 reps, and you see it on the paper, and that sort of feedback. So on the app, it's cool. If you put in 8 reps, it'll say new PR, 7 reps last week, 8 reps this week, and you're like, fuck.
Nice.
So and it's just a little thing, but it just made me think back to those days when I was using paper and pen and stuff, and they don't do that anymore. We got these
People
cool
don't even
apps.
know how to have a pen anymore.
Yeah. Well,
What's a pen?
have you tried to handwrite lately? I had to do some handwriting the other day, like writing on a Christmas card. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking write anymore.
I type it out and put the note inside of the card.
Yeah, and I had these forms to fill out for like my surgery and stuff. Yeah. And I like start filling them out, and I just printed them again, gave them to Emily. Can you fill
there?
this
You're learning.
Yes, that's what I would do
there
too.
it is.
And then it's like the perfect bubble letters. Every letter's the same height and the same size, and the numbers fit in the boxes.
I'm tearing up a little bit.
Dusty, you're not printing out anything. You're giving it to Nikki. She's filling out all the cards.
No, I don't do any of that.
I've been ruthlessly independent for too long, Dusty.
You've got to stop.
I got a wife now. I got a wife, and she's going to do some wifing.
Let me tell you something.
Fill out this form.
On Friday, Nikki says, do you want to go to dinner? And I just, by default, assumed she meant Saturday. I said yes. So I'm downstairs, like, hanging out, and I was like, what are you doing? She's up in the room, and she's like, oh, I'm just, using on the vanity, doing my thing. I said, okay, cool. And then she's like, we're leaving in 10 minutes. And I said, where are we going? And she's like, dinner. And I was like, oh, that was tonight. Like, I don't even pay attention to when we're going.
Right.
Then we got in the truck. I'm like, where are we headed? And
so my house
get there.
My house operates. All I want. I don't want a bunch of information. Right. I want a time that I need to be standing at the door with my shoes on.
There you go.
So I'll say like, what's the plan? And of course, it starts with, well, my aunt's going to cook this. And then my cousin's got to come from, and I'm like, whoa. Let's stop.
When should I be at the door with my shoes on?
Time at the door. And then she'll look me in the face and go, 4:15. And I'm like, perfect.
Now, let me ask you something, just to be
all
clear.
I need.
When she says now I imagine you're pretty punctual. If Victoria says 4:15, that really means that we should be leaving at 4:30.
It means
is that for you or her? Is that so?
Yeah, she'll tell me 4:15. She'll tell me.
So you're ready by 4:30.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what I do is I sit by the door with my shoes on. I pet the dogs for 10 minutes.
So you're good. You're right. You're there. You're 4:15. She says 4:15. You're 4:15. Got it.
She's watching. I gotta be quiet. She's watching. I don't want her to hear this part.
Yeah. And you're too slow to get away right now.
Yeah, I can't run yet. So
you get away from her at his best.
Yeah. It usually means 4:15. I'm ready, and then she's gonna get dressed.
That's up 4:30. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She'll come out of the bedroom in her panties, like, yeah. So it's almost time to leave, eh? I'm like, you're not.
You're
ready.
petting the dogs. She's around.
They're even tied now because he can do it himself.
Yeah.
So your life. Your life is interesting when you put your own sock on, and it's like a win.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, I did that.
Pull your foot up on the edge of the bed with your knee like here in front of you. Put a sock on.
Like a normal person.
But take it for granted, guys.
All these young guys that are watching this are like, why is this exciting? You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Yeah, keep squatting, bro.
Yeah, keep squatting. Keep doing that thing that kind of hurts.
There was a lot of years where you couldn't do that also just because you were too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
You take the deep breath to head down to tie the shoe. You're like...
Oh, I had the 300-pound days. It wasn't the range; it was the pressure.
Yeah.
You'd be like, boom, boom, and you're tying as fast as you can because you can't breathe.
Should have put these shoes on before that last meal.
Then when you stand up and gasp, everyone looks at you like you're gonna die, bro. You're gonna die.
Been there. The things they don't tell you about when you decide to get big.
Yeah. Some people think they got big.
Yeah.
But I
if
look
you're not
back,
nodding to this story, you don't know. You were never big.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
When the elevator breaks and you're like,
fuck. And you're in it. Yeah. Like breaking chairs, breaking the seat in your Jeep.
Oh,
right?
man.
You get in the seat in your Jeep and you just go to adjust yourself and it goes snap. Bolts come out of the floor and the whole seat just tilts back 6 inches. And then you take it to your buddy and he's like, I'm going to have to weld a plate so you can rebolt your seat because you ripped it right through the floorboards.
Ron, you'll.
Yeah,
I know
I did
you've
that.
done this. I was in Chicago, and it was pouring rain. It just came out of nowhere, and it's cold. So we had to walk from the car into this restaurant, and we come inside the restaurant, and all these people are looking at me. And I'm like, what? I'm dressed. I don't know what's going on. And the girl I'm with starts laughing because steam is coming off of me.
Oh, the steam. I love the steam.
I was like, oh, yeah, I
run
run a little hotter than everyone else.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, good times being way too big.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, I remember someone moved my car for me once. Back when, like, it would have been 2001. I had, like, a $600 car. And I'd driven the shit out of it. And they moved my car, and they come back and they're like, what's wrong with your seat? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, your seat's like a disaster. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, it's like this.
You've broken it.
And I got in and sat in it, and it just felt normal to me. But then I started I'm like, oh, it's like totally caved in.
Yeah.
It's like completely caved in on one side, but I kind of sat like that.
Yeah, you broke the side you
Like
sit
I
on.
was leaning or whatever direction I was leaning, whatever way I was leaning. I had this lean in the car, it was uneven glute distribution. And I just wore the seat in. The springs collapsed. So yeah, funny stuff.
There you go.
Hey,
This is
who's
what you guys stayed out for?
Hey, Dusty,
Yeah.
have you broken a bed?
The amount of so I had to put together a chair for Nikki this week, just like a chair for vanity, and it hit me how many chairs I put together because I don't need instructions at all because I broke so many when I owned the stores, the back.
Yeah.
Because I would sit them and they would just snap,
Crack.
and
Yeah, that one's
eventually
done.
I stopped buying them. I just wouldn't have a back on my chair; it just made more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of things they don't tell you. A lot of things.
No. Get big, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Exactly. Enjoy tying your shoes until you get there.
Yeah. As you know, a guy's truly off season, like when they Jordan JP wearing the flip flops. It's not new. It's just he took it to like the wear them during winter type of thing.
Right.
But the whole big guy in laceless shoes is not it's not new.
They made those Chucks were made for bodybuilders that
Right.
don't have the laces.
My dad's friend Lauren, he ran the Wayne Rec Center, and that's where all the the big jacked dudes trained back in the early '80s. He used to wear flip flops. That was his thing. He had flip flops. He had his hair looked like Arnold's, but he was Persian, so it was like dark hair. But he'd wear those flip flops winter, summertime, anytime. It was his thing. He just only wore flip flops. Big dude. His back was like he just walked around like all the time in a tank top and slacks.
Tank top, slacks,
flip-flops.
and flip flops.
And
That's a
flip-flops.
hell of a look, right?
It was
That's
a
a
look.
wild look.
It was a look.
That's
It
a
worked
wild
for
look.
him, though.
Yeah.
Hey, do what you want at that point.
There's that guy at every gym. There's one of those guys at every gym,
He was the guy that brought Pumping Iron over to our house on VHS, and because my dad was the only one who had a VHS player at the time, so like all the guys came over to watch it at our house.
So it's his fault that we have this podcast. Thanks, dude.
Pretty much.
I appreciate him.
He was a good man. Yeah.
Classics. All right, fellas.
Oh, I had one thing I
Oh,
wanted
there we
to.
go. He's looking at something.
The guy that owns TK Star, the old equipment company that makes like those classic pieces.
Yeah.
He still makes stuff, right? He's doing handles and press down bars and all sorts of neat stuff. And he said, hey, if you ever want to chat, I've got lots of stories. I was 15 years old at the 1974 Mr. Olympia.
Wow.
He was at the Whitney Museum. He was at the Pumping Iron premiere in 1977. He's
Holy
got a
crap.
lot of unheard stories. So he said, if we ever want to have him on, I'd love to
That'd be
come
That
on.
could be
So,
fun.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, I like that shit. So I'm talking to him. That might be fun. So we'll see what he says. But
Cool.
yeah, look. So thanks to the last 15-minute crew, I guess,
Yeah,
today.
we stretched it a little today.
We stretched
Sorry
it a
about
little,
that, guys.
but much appreciated. Remember, IamMutant.com. Use Big Ron or Dusty, either code. Get your stuff like tomorrow because they're so fast.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave the house. Don't put pants on.
No pants.
No pants. Don't see anybody. Peopleless. Yes, it's perfect. It's like it's like perfect. So just order from IamMutant.com. Get your hardcore ISO, get your Mind FK, get your big greens, especially the chocolate.
Yes.
And everyone's got to get on the gear. Thanks, guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to the live chat. Thanks, Tanya. She said she said something about my app here a little while ago, so thanks for that. And remember, everybody, it's just bodybuilding. Lives in the town. Like, she's in the Albuquerque that Walter White's in. Like, right?
Whoa.
Like the same universe, same reality. But the Breaking Bad guy wrote it. Why did he put her in Albuquerque? Because he did it for fun. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs in there about Albuquerque, and it's the same Albuquerque, right? So there's like these people saying that that's a neat little thing Vince Gilliam did just for himself, right?
That's interesting.
She's in the same Albuquerque Walter White lives in.
Well, Walter White obviously was
He's
converted.
gone now, right? But
Yeah. He's
It happens.
Well, he's
one
dead.
of us.
What up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, he made it the same city for a reason. It's like a little tip of the hat, right?
Yeah.
So
I love it.
okay.
Do you have
We're-
some?
we're,
did you find those? You were going to grab some other questions. You had some.
Yeah, I
other-
do have a few.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you want me to save them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have those on deck because
Okay.
we have those couple topics, and then we've got the listener questions. Oh, and Ron, we're live, so we have people here.
Give us
what's
some
up, guys?
question, peoples.
Yeah, we need questions,
Awesome.
guys. If you want to throw anything in. For this
Yeah,
Christmas
questions would be
episode.
great.
Make them inappropriate.
We like these surprise live things.
Yeah.
So I better intro the show. Let me do that
It's time.
because we're live.